My takeaway is this, that it doesn't really matter if it's 10.1%. Yeah, of course, inflation is rising. The worst truth about this is that people are paying more for, it's a very personal kind of thing. It may be more than 10.1% if you reflect it across what different people have to pay from their income, because we saw yesterday that inflation is actually eating at wage increases as well. This figure will fall next year. Of course it'll fall because it's a measure. That's all that inflation is. The fact of the matter is that we're all having to pay a lot more for food. Well, obviously, your viewers know this, paying a lot more for energy. So basically, and quite right, that you and Freddie were talking about, what are the Tory hopefuls actually want? Can they do anything about the cost of living? I doubt it very much indeed. They can borrow more, but that really puts our problem into the hands of our grandchildren. Why do we want that? Why are we not actually right now doing things ourselves, not politicians, but ourselves, to make sure? You've had a lot of financial commentators saying we need to be borrowing more money, it's time for Cobra to meet and all the rest of it, politicians to meet. I believe that we should be doing more ourselves. We should be taking a very firm look at what we eat, at how we actually want to spend money on food, how we want to spend money on energy. And if it means knocking on the door to your neighbours and saying, come in, are you warm enough? Does that old person living up the road need to go to the supermarket? All these kind of things, it's a community spirit that will get us through this. And there is, finally, this horrible word that economists use called consumer destruction. What that means is that if we don't go to the pumps and we don't fill up, then good heavens, do you know what will happen to the price of fuel? It'll suddenly fall because demand will go off. The same with supermarkets as well. If I were a politician, what I'd be doing is working out, I'd look at these figures and say, yeah, it's absolutely terrible, and the Bank of England is going to have to raise interest rates by 0.5% when they sit down again, the Monetary Policy Committee in September, and sits down. Yeah, we understand all that. We get all that. I think the public actually understands that. What needs to happen in this country is for people like you and me and the rest of the population to say, enough is enough. We are not going to pay those prices, and they will come down, trust me.